Another thing with me having this disability, what is wrong with me? I cannot talk. Hey subbies, welcome back to our channel. As you can tell by the title, this is a get to know me video, and basically I'm just giving you a story time of life as a single mom with a disability. My name is Monique Levy, was born and raised in Toronto, Canada. I'm a mother of two beautiful kids. My daughter's name is Mahalia, she is 12, and my son is Monty, who is 2. We pretty much lived in this city for most of our lives. Living with a disability has its ups and its downs, but my kids are truly helpful, especially when it got really bad. I have glaucoma. I also have a detached retina in my left eye, which is why when you look directly at me, it looks like I have a lazy eye on the right, but it's just because my right eye is a dominant eye, so it's the one that focuses more. My left eye is just kind of there because vision isn't clear. Coma, which basically leaves me with no peripheral vision whatsoever. So I was diagnosed with this when I was in grade 8 going into grade 9. It didn't prevent me from working at the time. I just had restrictions. Like I said, I couldn't drive. I would never be able to drive. Fine details, sometimes I would miss things, and because I didn't have the peripheral vision, sometimes I would bump into things, trip over things, but on a regular day-to-day basis, I could handle pretty much everything by myself. It wasn't until, I want to say 2010, 11, when I was diagnosed with having cataracts, was when it got bad. Where I used to work, I used to do a lot of computer-based work, and after a while, as the cataract continued to grow, it just became very difficult doing, it was bad enough that I was nearsighted and I had glaucoma, but to add the fogginess and cloudiness to it, like doing my regular day-to-day work was a challenge. So what are you doing out of bed? You're supposed to be sleeping. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Yeah, so he's out of bed. Are you hungry? You want your fruits? Okay. So in 2000, I believe it was 14, 15, you don't want it? 14, 15, I was at a crossroad where, my condition was affecting my work, and my work wasn't really doing much for me or had much for me to continue my job and work sufficiently. And at times it was like they were threatening me to lose my job. So my condition's permanent. There's no correcting it. Like even with the glaucoma, like I take the eye drops to slow down the condition, but there's nothing to correct it. And whatever vision that you lose because of glaucoma, you don't get that back. But, you know, at the time I was like, I just thought, you know, my health comes first, and Monty wasn't born yet. I had my Haley at the time, and I just said, you know, life's too short. I'm gonna focus on my health and just be there for my daughter. So I made the decision to, you know, resign from my position and stay home. So I am now currently a stay-at-home mom. I have done cataract surgery on my right eye, which improved the vision a lot better. I do need reading glasses, but because I am going to be doing the cataract surgery on my left eye, which by the time I post this video, I will be under recovery. I'll be getting my reading glasses then, and hopefully if everything heals the way it's supposed to, I can go back to work. I'm trying to find something part-time, because don't get me wrong, I love being a stay-at-home mom, but I do miss the independence of, you know, being out there, making your own money, being your own woman. When you get assistance from the government, I'm not bashing it or anything, I'm grateful for it, but there are many restrictions that come with it. So, you know, the fact that I may have a chance to go back to work after doing these procedures, oh, I'm so on that. During this journey of living with a disability, it also entailed a lot of trips going back and forth to my specialists. I take eye drops for my glaucoma permanently. Huge shout outs to my mom, because, you know, she's been there for everything. Surgeries, appointments, driving me to and from. There were times where I would go by myself back in the day, but through it all, she's been there. She knows the whole history, so I gotta give thanks to her. And even my other family, you know, they're very supportive with my situation. They help me out. Nobody makes me feel any less than anybody else because I don't see properly. And to be honest, even when I meet people on the road and they have something negative to say, like, oh, you're not even looking at me straight, like, it doesn't really bother me so much anymore. I mean, everybody has those 1-2 occasions where somebody will say something to you that hurts you, but overall, I am accepting of my situation, and, you know, if that's the way God wanted my life to be, then that's just how it's gonna be. And, you know, I just appreciate the fact that I have life, because it could have been worse. But yeah, my family is very supportive, my friends are very supportive, even my co-workers that I used to work with, super supportive. I had the cataracts. There were times where I'd go on the road and, you know, I would ask my daughter to either pick up things for me, or we would go together and she would read any fine details if I couldn't see, like, say for example, how much the product was, or if I wanted to know what was in a product, she would read the stuff on whatever I was buying. Or even something as simple as paying for things. You know, she has grown to be so independent because of my disability, and sometimes I feel kind of bad because, you know, she's a kid, but at the same time it's like, if God forbid, you know, my sight takes another turn for the worst, and this time it's more severe to the point where I lose my vision, at least, you know, she can handle herself, she can take care of her brother, and they'll be okay. And I mean, I'll still be around to help in any way that I can, but the fact that I won't be able to see, you know, she'll have to step up and do a lot of things that I can't do. But even this little guy, like, sometimes I'll drop things on the floor, and because, you know, my vision's not 100% and I don't see it, I'll just be like, oh Monty, where did it go? Can you pick it up for mommy? And he picks it up. So as little as he is, he's such a good helper. But you know, I was sad at first when I found out about my vision situation and how it was gonna affect my future, because when I was all diagnosed with this, like I said, I was in grade 8. So you guys, I was like 13 going on 14. Today, just living through it all for all these years, I'd say the only thing that I kind of miss or wish that I could do is drive. And to be honest, the only time that bothers me is in the winter time, guys, because hands down, does anybody like standing up in the snow waiting for the bus, or in the freezing cold waiting for the bus? Nobody does. Other than that, I don't mind not being able to drive at all. I mean, it's a convenience. It makes it easier when you're doing groceries or picking up your kids. Yes, but the fact that I've been doing transit for so long, like, I don't mind it. I really don't. But you know, I just wanted to put this video out there so you guys can get to know me, like where we're from. We currently live in Niagara Falls. We don't live in Toronto anymore. We used to rent. It was just way too expensive to buy something in the city, so we moved outside of the city. And to be honest, I don't mind it out here. It's quiet. It's not as diverse as Toronto, but there is a lot of development going on down here. So eventually it's gonna be another basket, just like Toronto. Eventually, I say give it another 3 to 5 years. It will be just like Toronto. But raising kids wise is very nice, you know, very family oriented, slower pace than the city. There's not a lot of drama down here. Everybody's pretty much quiet and, you know, minds their business.
Honestly, guys, such a small price to pay for just $0 a day. You can mind your damn business. How about that, huh?
Say hello when they want to say hello, and a lot of the neighbors are pretty friendly. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them are pretty friendly. But being disabled doesn't mean that you're broken. It just means that you can't do certain things, but you excel in other things. Like, for example, with me, I have vision loss, but my hearing, my sense of smell, my touch is heightened. So I'm literally like a greyhound. I smell and hear things before anybody else in my household or everybody else that I'm around, and they're just like, holy crap, how did you hear that? You know, once you reach that level where you don't let your disabilities get you down, you continue with your life, it's the greatest feeling. I know some people out there aren't at that state, and you know, it's understandable because some people go through some really drastic changes, and some people, you know, they take longer to accept it than others, and some don't at all. But you know, us as human beings just need to understand that everybody's different, and there's nothing wrong with a person having a disability. I actually have a story time of something that happened to me on the road where a lady was ready to cuss me out because I accidentally bumped into her, not realizing that I had a disability. And long story short, she ended up, you know, coming back and apologizing to me. But I'll probably do a story time about that later on. I give kudos to everybody who has a disability, whether you're a parent or not, that you know, they're living their lives and they're pushing and being independent. But if you do have any questions about glaucoma surgery or detached retina surgery, feel free to ask me. I know, I've been there. I've definitely been there. This is gonna be my, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is gonna be my 5th surgery. So one of them is not in regards to my eyes. I had to surgically remove my wisdom teeth, so that I do have a surgery coming up after the kids' spring break. I just pray that whatever treatments that I'm doing now carries me at least until my kids are old enough to take care of themselves if I had a choice. Well, if it was up to me, my situation doesn't get any worse till the day that I die. But you know, nobody knows what's promised tomorrow. So I just take it one day at a time. With having this disability, it makes me stay super alert and attentive to my kids' vision. But Mahalia is nearsighted, and yes, Papa, Mahalia is nearsighted, so I always, make sure she does not miss her checkups at the doctors, because if God forbid she gets diagnosed with glaucoma, I want to make sure that I catch that from the get-go, not when it starts to get bad. I'm noticing my son might have a slight bit of nearsightedness, but because of the pandemic and because he won't cooperate, I haven't been able to bring him in as yet to get his eyes checked, but it is in the making. But that's just another one of the things realities that I gotta live with, that the fact that I was born with this, there is that possibility that it will be passed down to my kids. In all, even though I have a visual impairment, I'm still able to do everything that everybody else can do. I can bathe myself, I can cook, I can do my laundry, I can clean. Mark you, when I clean, sometimes I may miss a few little bits and little pieces of crumbs from Monty or whatever may drop on the floor, which is why when I do clean my... It's so funny. When I do clean my floors, I make sure that I do like a double run through. So I'll sliver and then I'll vacuum. But it's just little tactics that you learn with having a disability, and I'm sure that other people that have a disability can relate to what I'm talking about. When you can't do certain things, you find ways to improvise to get whatever you're trying to do done. So I'm not trying to butter it up and say that it's easy, because it's not. There's many times where I could be at home doing something, or I'm trying to read something and I can't see it, and I just have to wait till either my daughter comes home from school, or sometimes if it comes out clear enough, I'll use my phone or my tablet to take a picture of whatever it is I'm trying to see, zoom it up, and go from there. But it can be very difficult at times. I don't want to make this video too long, but Mahalia is sleeping. This one's supposed to be sleeping, but he decided to come all the way out of his bed and come follow me all the way downstairs, where I was trying to do this video very quietly, where I'm not disturbing him or his sister. But it's time to put him back to bed because it's pretty late. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the comments. If you have any other questions about me and my kids, feel free to drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye! Say see you next time. Can you say see you next time?
See you next time.
Good boy. Bye, subbies.